Hello everybody, welcome to the Cuzzo cast. I'm Nick, joined by Franco. As always, we watched Nintendo's E3 presentation. A lot of people have been giving their opinions on what they saw. In terms of our viewpoint, I think it's pretty unique. There were a lot of things about the Direct that we thought were cool. I enjoyed it, but I will say that in terms of new announcements and more specifically Nintendo announcements, for me there was still a little bit left to be desired. Other than Metroid and MarioWare, there weren't really any new big Nintendo games, and the biggest reveals were all previously announced, such as Breath of the Wild 2 is a 2-year-old game at this point, so I wasn't really too hyped to see it end the Direct.
You know what? This is where I'll give Nintendo a little bit of a break. They did not do anything to get our hopes as high as they were for this Direct. I'll give a lot of blame to myself for that. I did hype myself up very much for this Direct, but I really believed that I had a right to. Like, there was not many big announcements this year. I thought they had to be holding out from us from what we didn't get last year.
Yeah.
I thought this was going to be a milestone, groundbreaking E3 presentation, and it was a very lacking presentation in many forms. Not to say I did not like some of the stuff we got. Some stuff was pretty cool, but the fact that there were very little new announcements, nothing that really surprised me or got me like even a little bit like just kind of shook or like any kind of like emotion out of me. It just made me very disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's necessarily bad in any way. It's just I was really trying to reach, a level of, like you said, shock and just amazement of a new announcement. And the biggest things that they revealed were things like SMT5, which looked amazing. Breath of the Wild 2 looked amazing, but it wasn't new and we kind of expected it. And, I think it's totally fair to say that that's a little disappointing. We want to see new things. It's been 2 years since Breath of the Wild 2 was revealed. Other than Breath of the Wild 2 SMT5, the other big reveal was, of course, Kazuya from Tekken. He looks very cool, but I will say I just found out that he existed.
Look, I'm not gonna hate on any character in the game because I've clearly seen people are excited about this character, and I'm happy for them. I'm happy they got this character they want. I mean, of course, I've heard of Tekken. I'm not familiar with the character, so it was nothing really for me to get hype about. But you know what? I know with all the characters with Smash, even if it's no one you don't really like or have any personal connection to, you're still gonna enjoy playing as them. You know they're gonna make them fun in any way. But to be honest with you, it's not even that it's a character that I'm not really familiar with or don't really think I'll enjoy. It's the fact that the way they decided to present him was so just boring and not really had anything crazy to it. Like, it starts out really well and then it just cuts. It's him.
Yeah.
It's like you don't even have enough time to wrap your mind around what's going on. Not really building up to anything. It's literally he's here. Surprise, like why? Like, it really just comes across really as, hey, Bandai Namco made us put this character in. We're sorry for you people who didn't want it, but that's how I felt about it. Even though I'm glad people wanted this character and they got him, but like for me, it just was not at all what I was looking for.
Yeah, I think that for me personally, it's nothing against the character. I am a little disappointed in the reveal, and the explanation for that is, to put it quite simply, before this Direct, there were only 2 characters left. To our knowledge, at least of now, it's not really looking like we're going to get more characters afterwards. So there's only 2 more characters left, and you spend all this time talking about Smash and potential characters, and one of them is someone that you don't even know exists. Like, that's just kind of crazy. And still, this has nothing to do with Kazuya. I'm really excited to see Tekken and Smash. I'm really interested in his backstory and his gameplay. But it's just really surprising to me that they didn't go with a larger character for the penultimate character of this game. In a Fighter's Pass with Steven Sephiroth, you would think that they would probably fit better as the closing. So maybe they have a much bigger character for the end. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's definitely just, the thing with Smash is it can be very subjective. sometimes. Like, like, there's just so many games out there in the world. Like, one person cannot play and, like, have a deep connection with every franchise in Smash. And unfortunately, Tekken is just something that we personally never got involved in. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay that we're not super into it, because, like, someone else is, and that's what this character is for. But honestly, even just looking back on it, I don't understand why we're coming to a closing of Smash Ultimate and they don't want to pick major characters that are going to make headlines and really get the conversation going. Because honestly, I go on social media, honestly, not many people are talking about this character. Because I do see people are happy about it, but no one's really, like, talking about the significance or the impact, because I think really deep down, people understand that this was kind of like an uneventful thing. Like, it was, in some ways, it was kind of expected. We had an idea that Bandai Namco was going to have one of their characters in, and looking back on it, it's pretty obvious. Like, why not would they use a Tekken character?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Kazuya, but I don't know. I think that it could have done better pacing-wise. But in terms of the Direct, I want to talk about that because I know that Metroid Dread and WarioWare, Mario Party, those are all really cool things, but at least for me, those are just kind of games that, like, yeah, I'll play them when they come out. But, like, nothing that, like, gets me daydreaming about it, you know? I was really hoping for something like a new 3D Kirby game, something like that that would just have me totally awe-inspired and just would capture my attention. But it just seems like this isn't the year for that. We know that Nintendo's had a rough year, so has everybody. So I understand. But, you know, I just hope that soon we do get one of those games from Nintendo that we've gotten in the past that just gets us totally excited and hyped for the future.
I just can't believe how they didn't take certain opportunities to just give us some new information on games that people, like, actually care about. Because, like, I'm gonna be honest, there was so much shovelware in this. Like, games, just these random series. Like, does this really warrant being a part of a Direct? You couldn't just make, like, a Twitter video or some ad or something. This had to be part of your E3 Direct. We couldn't get anything on either of the new Pokemon games coming. You couldn't show us any Splatoon 3, even though I kind of predicted we weren't going to see Splatoon 3. I just feel like even what they showed us, although some things were pretty cool, I feel like it was just lacking in certain things. Like, Shin Megami Tensei, like, it actually was really cool, like, getting to see some more gameplay of that, and I'll admit, it definitely made me more interested in checking the game out. I really wasn't planning on doing it beforehand. Now I think I will. And with Breath of the Wild especially, I definitely did believe they were going to close with Breath of the Wild, but I thought it was going to be a big showcase of everything. The title, more in-depth into the story, the gameplay, and it was so lacking. Like, it was, although what we saw was very cool, like, it just was not enough to warrant being the closing of E3.
You made a good point about, like, time and how, like, trying to burn their time, because, like, they showed a trailer for Mario Golf. They showed the trailer for Mario plus Rabbids 2. It was just revealed already. And even in the end of the thing, they were like, oh, and here's our final segment. And they spend like 5 minutes talking about Skyward Sword HD and how to use the controls. Like, I'm surprised that a lot of people are satisfied with the Direct, given how, like, leading up to it, where we were talking about Switch Pro and Kid Icarus getting a port and new Kirby games, and this wasn't just us. This was a lot of people talking about, you know, potential new games and hardware getting announced. And honestly, off the top of my head, we got Kazuya, Breath of the Wild 2, new Metroid, and new WarioWare. So, I mean, not to say that that's bad, but, like, compared to what we were trying to get out of this Direct.
And definitely one of the biggest things that kind of stood out to me in this E3 was obviously, like, the lack of showing of certain games that have already been announced. You know, honestly, some of them I think will be alright. Like, the Pokemon games, I'm sure there'll be other Pokemon Directs coming out soon, more information to get on them. And obviously, Pokemon is one of the biggest franchises in the world right now, so those games are going to be fine. But the fact that certain of Nintendo's games that are coming out, and they're not really even doing any effort to to promote them or get them out there. Like the biggest game coming out very soon that comes to mind is obviously Neo: The World Ends With You, a very highly anticipated sequel to a very beloved game. It's coming out on Nintendo Switch, and they didn't even bother to have any highlight of it throughout the whole direct. Like, why? This game is coming out very soon. This is a beloved sequel to a very beloved game. And it's like, why are you not taking this time? Like, this is the problem that had last time. No one really knew about The World Ends With You as a very, like sleeper hit. So why are you not taking these opportunities to get the name of this game out there, get people wanting to buy it? But not only did Nintendo not show it off, Square didn't show it off either in their presentation. So, like, what is their plan with this game? Like, they're both not treating this game right. Like, I'm obviously going to play it. I know you're going to play it. But, like, if it's not a success, then, like, what was the point of even reviving it? They're not even giving it a fair shot.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it was total missed opportunity for either Square or Nintendo to announce anything for Neo: The World Ends With You. And it's not like they could only have one or the other, so they both decided not to have it because they had the Guardians game revealed at both presentations. And I think another missed opportunity was Splatoon 3. I think they should have revealed Splatoon 3 at this E3 Direct instead of the last Direct. I think that it would have been a great way to end E3 with a big sequel to a series that most Nintendo fans really enjoy. It would have been a game that we didn't previously know about being revealed as the ending. And instead they revealed it at a random Direct in the middle of the year for whatever reason. It's not like it needed to be revealed before E3. So I think having done that, it would have been a little bit more impactful to me.
Yeah, like, I feel like from now on, I'm gonna be, like, very reserved when it comes to these Nintendo Directs. Like, you really just can't get yourself too hyped. You're really just gonna ruin the whole experience for you. And I feel like that's kind of what I did to myself. Even though, again, I feel like we were highly warranted to be excited for this. And I think it's just a disappointment that they didn't take more opportunities to like show that we're back. Pandemic's ending. We have more opportunities to get the word out there, get games out there, get people working on these games that you guys want to play.
So Nintendo's E3 2021 Direct. I personally don't think it topped 2019 or even 2018, but hey, I understand. It's been a rough year for everyone. There's still a lot of promise for the Switch and Nintendo especially, so I'm really looking forward to the future. So guys, I'm Nick.
I'm Franco, and never forget, Sora for Smash.
That's true. I can't let go of that. Alright guys, until next time.